Good morning. Even the chickens are like, good morning, guys. So what we're going to do today is we're actually going to collect a fecal sample on the flock. So I've got some things prepared. So when you take in a fecal sample, your veterinarian's going to actually examine that under the microscope and see what parasites your flock could be carrying, and they will advise you on the best course of treatment for these guys. So you can use a Ziploc bag. I actually prefer using a pill vial. It makes it easier. Just be sure that you label it, put your name, and that it is chickens. And I like to be a little bit helpful, put my phone number, and they can text or call me, whichever is easiest for your veterinarian. Some have the ability to text, some will call you, especially if you do have a parasite issue. They will call you, and that way they can advise you to fix it. One of the other things you would probably want to have is the trusty disposable spoon. It makes it easy, because what we're going to do is we're going to actually collect several pieces of samples. I have a flock that's about 40 or 50, so you don't just want one chicken sample, you'd like to have multiples. So we're going to collect several samples to put into the pill vial, because we're going to treat the whole flock should we have an issue. In Texas, we have had a very strange winter. I dewormed a couple months ago, maybe at least 2, maybe 3. I'd have to look back on my calendar. But our winter has been not so cold. We had that Arctic air mass that came in, and it only lasted 3 or 4 days. But recently the temperatures have been getting up to 71 degrees during the day. Right now it's about 35 in the mornings, but that temperature is perfect opportunity for parasites to reproduce. And that's what your veterinarian is going to look for, is parasite eggs underneath the microscope. So even though we are following a deworming protocol, I want to be sure that I'm covering all the things that I need to, because there's several parasites that we can worry about, and I want to make sure that we're using the appropriate dewormer. And then the most important thing is, if they're good, we don't deworm. That's the benefit of it. So you use your veterinarian, utilize the resources that you have. And it's as simple as taking in a little tiny poop sample from your chickens, and you can drop it off in most cases, and they can call you with results. So we're going to go through. I have the coop. I have 2 coops, and I also have some that actually roost in the run. So chickens poop all night long while they're roosting. So the best time to get your sample is in the mornings, before, we'll wait there, before they have kind of made a mess of it. And I use sand, so it makes it easy to collect. So if I waited in this coop for a couple hours to clean it, because I clean every day, it would be kind of a sandy mess, and I kind of have to dig through the sand. Whereas right now, the fecal matter is kind of on top of the sand, so I get a cleaner sample for my veterinarian to actually look at. So let's see if I can get the top off of this. Put the camera here in my arm. Get the top off of my pill vial. So, and if you see something odd, definitely grab a sample of the odd one. So you want a normal one, anything that looks odd. So this is, it's still normal. That one is a little more moist, so it looks fresher. So I'm gonna get a little sample of that one. So I got a sample of that one. It does have a little stain, but that's okay. And you'll have to bear with me, because I have to put it in this vial, and gotta set my phone down. So I'm putting it kind of in the vial. So I've got a little bit of a sample there. So I've kind of got it pushed down there, and I'm going to pick a couple of other samples. This one looks pretty normal, so I'm just going to grab a little chunk of that. And we're going to put that in our pill vial. And then I'm going to go to everything else in here. Looks pretty normal. I don't see anything that stands out. So I'm going to go to the next area. I have a group that like to roost in the run instead of in the coop, which is just fine as long as they're comfortable. So we'll go in there and grab some samples. So that way I get multiple chicken samples. So I get, make sure that if one may have an issue, and fortunately this is pretty clean, so I'm gonna have to step in some. And I'm gonna grab that sample because it does look different. So, sorry y'all, bear with me. Trying to get this in the camera, not get it all over me. So I'm gonna put that in my vial. And then we're gonna go to the other coop. I really wish I could turn this video around where you could see me talking, but with the iPhone, I could have swore last year, earlier in the year, I didn't have that problem. I could switch the camera around, but I can't remember. So now I can't switch it while I'm actually videoing. Okay, so as you can see, they poop where they roost. So definitely if you've been cleaning your coops and notice that, that's where you're gonna need to go for poop. So we're just scanning to make sure nothing stands out. Everything in here really does look pretty normal. But just because it looks normal doesn't mean it doesn't have parasites. So I'm going to grab that, and then I'm gonna grab some of this one. Actually, I'm gonna grab this pile. These two look very similar, like they're from the same chicken during the night. But I'm gonna go ahead, and because this one's a little bit further away, it could possibly be a different bird than this one. So I'm gonna I'm gonna get the furthest away from this actual one. So we're just gonna grab a little sample of that one. Ooh, sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Put that in my pill vial. And I'm probably getting too much because I'm getting multiple samples. But your veterinarian will put a special solution in there and let it sit. And then they're gonna look at it underneath the microscope. And, okay, I think I'm gonna get some more of that one. Just because it's been kind of difficult to get off my spoon. Sorry if you guys can't see that. I'm trying to get it off my spoon into the pill vial. But you can also use a Ziploc baggie and just, you know, turn it inside out. And if you turn it inside out, you can just grab sample with your hand if you don't have a whole lot of birds. So, and now I'm going to put the lid on it so that it can transport safely and there's no mess. So now we have our fecal sample, multiple areas of the coop that we're gonna take to our veterinarian and make sure that the flock is parasite free, or if we do have parasites, we're gonna get on top of those. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a message down there or a comment, and I'll respond to those. But I will update you on the comments on the findings of the fecal as soon as we find those out. So I will be taking that to the veterinarian in a few moments as soon as I get the coop clean, and I'm just gonna drop that off with it. Make it simple for your veterinarian. So this is not something that you really need to bring a bird in for unless you specifically have a problem. But put everything on there, all your information, and if it's from your birds or chickens, anything, they want to make sure, because your veterinarian is seeing multiple species. So they're seeing dogs, cats, they could be doing fecals on horses, cows, other people's flocks. So you want to make sure that it's nicely labeled for them if you ever drop off a sample. And that way, make sure that you get your results and it's easy for them. So anything else, like I said, I don't see anything that looks suspicious of anything. There's no blood, there's no anything that stands out in any of this poop. But it's always safe to send in a sample and make sure that you're on the right track. So we always want to do the best that we can, and that's part of it. And like I said, if you have any questions, leave a comment, and then I will also also leave the results in the comments for you guys to follow up with, and what we're going to do should we have a parasite problem. So hopefully we'll get on top of this, and it's mainly because of the weather. The weather change has, or the lack of weather change, makes a perfect opportunity for intestinal parasites to reproduce. So normally we wouldn't have a parasite issue this time of year, but with the cooler weather only being like 30 and then getting to a high of 70s, I want to make sure we're on top of it. You guys have a wonderful day.